Welcome to the City of West Miami. Today, it's our regular commission meeting of Wednesday, November the 4th, 2015, at 2:40 p.m. For the invocation, Ms. Aguilar.
Thank you, and please rise and join me this evening in bowing our heads, thanking the Lord for all of our blessings, those that we see and those that we don't. We pray to the Lord and we ask Him to watch over Commissioner Blanca so that she recovers from her eye surgery successfully tomorrow. We all ask that you heal the heavy hearts of our city employee, Maria Fernandez, who has endured so much over the last few months and just lost her younger brother to a massive heart attack last evening. We pray for all the employees of the city so that they can continue to labor in good health and good spirits for the greater good of our community. We pray for our military servicemen and women, those that are active and those who have served our country as we honor their service on Veterans Day. We pray for those employees that are ready to retire so that they can adapt to a new lifestyle with grace. Finally, Lord, tonight we pray for the fine men and women in law enforcement and for our firefighters. And we ask all of this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Chief, for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be seated. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Commissioner Luciano Suarez.
Yes.
Commissioner Rhonda Rodriguez.
Present.
Commissioner Candida Blanca.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Juan Blanes.
Present.
Mayor Eduardo Mujina.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Item 4.
Item 4, presentation of minutes for approval for October 21st, 2015, regular City Commission meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And at this time, I would like to take items out of order. I would like to start with item 11A
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
and so on. And,
B and C.
yes, 11A.
Okay, Mr. Mayor. Item 11, under new business agenda items. Item 11A, presentation of recognition to Sergeant Rafael Jimenez on his retirement after 30 years of service to the West Miami Police Department by Mayor and City Commission.
Thank you. Wow, we have a lot of people here today.
Chief.
This is incredible. Commissioner Blanca, this is something that I feel honored to have Commissioner Blanca sponsor this.
Thank you. I feel Yolanda mentioned I have going for eye surgery tomorrow, therefore I cannot read. I will yield for you to the presentation, and please, the chief, please.
So please, Chief, come forward.
Commissioner, Mayor, and Commissioners, it's truly an honor for me to present on Commissioner Blanca's behalf this plaque of recognition to Sergeant Jimenez. Historically, although most of you know of his time here in the West Miami Police Department, give you a little historical because sometimes we forget. He was hired in 1985 and was one of the first Hispanic police officers to be hired in the West Miami Police Department. He was the department's first DARE officer as a sergeant, but as a DARE officer as Sergeant De La Hoz is today. He was the first canine officer that the city of West Miami had. He's received numerous awards as selection as Officer of the Month for the Police Department. He's the recipient of the Mayor's Excellence Award, and although 30 years is a long time and his retirement is well-deserved, he has agreed to stay on as a reserve sergeant to help mentor those younger officers and to also help the department in the accreditation process, which I spoke of a few meetings ago. It's been an honor, and it will continue to be for me to be the chief for retired Lieutenant Rafael Jimenez.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, our colleagues, can we come forward to present
Yeah, yeah.
Presented to Sergeant Rafael E. Jimenez, City of West Miami Police Department. In recognition for your contributions to the City of West Miami with 30 years of service to the West Miami Police Department, and for your loyalty, commitment, and dedication by promoting excellence in law enforcement, public service, and improving the quality of life of the City of West Miami and its citizenry. Wishing you a well-deserved retirement with our gratitude dated 4th day of November 2015. Mayor Eduardo Muñoz, Commissioner Candida Blanca, Commissioner Luciano Suarez, Commissioner Rhonda Rodriguez, and Vice Mayor Juan Blanes.
Ralph, speech.
I'm very nervous right now.
What? How about the family?
You've been putting up with me.
He needs to say something. Speech.
Wow. I'll try my best.
No, you can't go.
Okay. I'm gonna use this. I'm very humbled by this. It means a
Speaking
lot
to the record, please.
Speak to the record, yes. As I said, I'm very humbled by this. I'm holding back tears of happiness. 30 years, it seems like nothing, but it was a long time, and I'm looking forward to it. But now I'm the happiest I've ever been. The department has a great administration. I'm looking forward to working with the lieutenant, the captain, the chief. If not, I know I'm going to go crazy at home above everything else. But all I have to say is thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, may I ask or for the family to take a picture?
I'd like to say something.
Of course.
I moved into the city of West Miami in 1985, and
You did.
as a resident, I want to thank you for your many years of service. You have served me and my family, and you've improved my quality of life here in the city of West Miami, and that is one reason why I stay here in the city. And again, thank you.
It's a great place.
I thank you.
For me to want to come back
Many years.
and do this for free as the chief needs me, captain, lieutenant, believe me, it's a great place. I'm very honored to be allowed to come back.
And we have the family here.
Family, please. Guys,
Take a picture.
Esa es la hermana. Carlos, P. ¿Cómo? Luciano. Luciano. A Carlos.
Pero ponte la comisión,
Sí.
thanks for coming out, guys. I appreciate it. We've been having friends for a long time.
George wanted to talk.
We've been friends for a very long time, many, many years.
Mira que Alex está apareciendo su hermano mayor. Oh my God. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Good luck.
Yes, item 11B, presentation of certificates of appreciation to military personnel employed by the City of West Miami in honor of Veterans Day, November 11, 2015. This item is sponsored by Commissioner Blanca.
All of them. Yes.
Well, we want to start with Carlos Habla. Captain. All right.
Carlos to us.
Congratulations.
Captain, we want to present you with this certificate of appreciation presented to you, Carlos Avila, in recognition and grateful appreciation for serving in the United States Armed Force in the name of freedom and democracy, and for alleged to God and country in courageous protecting our liberty and independence. With all our gratitude, dated this 4th day of November 2015, signed by Mayor Eduardo Muña, Vice Mayor Juan Blanes, Commissioner Rhonda Rodriguez, Commissioner Candida Blanca, and Commissioner Luciano Suarez. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you for your service, Captain.
Lieutenant
Acabando
Keith
de
Delgado.
papel.
Mayor, thank you for giving me the honor to read this. He's a great guy, he's a great family man, a good friend, and provides for us a great service. Certificate of appreciation presented to honor Pedro Delgado in recognition and grateful appreciation for serving in the United States Armed Forces in the name of freedom and democracy, and for allegiance to God and country in courageously protecting our liberty and independence. With all our gratitude, dated this 4th day of November 2015. Mayor Eduardo Muña, Juan Blanes, Vice Mayor, Rhonda Rodriguez, Commissioner, Candida Blanca, Commissioner, Luciano Suarez, Commissioner. Thank you.
Good family?
Yes.
Pete, thank you for your service.
That's such a beautiful family. Come on. Get
The family deserves an applause too.
Broke the camera.
Good job, Pete.
I got my glasses. Right.
Okay.
This is for George Diaz. Come on down. Come on down, Mr. Diaz. Now with my glasses. This is a certificate of appreciation presented to honor George Diaz in recognition and grateful appreciation for serving in the United States Air Force in the name of freedom and democracy, and for allegiance to God and country in courageously protecting our liberty and independence. With all our gratitude. And you know all our names, it's all of us. I just want to say, I mean, we're presenting all these certificates to these gentlemen that protected our country in the past. And they continue protecting our community and our residents every single day. So it continues. Their allegiance and the protection continues on a daily basis. So it's just extraordinary, all of them, what they've done for us. Thank you.
Smile, please.
Thank you for your service, George.
All right. All right.
And anytime you want coffee.
Do it again, you do it very
I
well.
have glasses again.
You do it very well.
But it's your turn.
You do it very
Oh,
well.
yeah, yeah.
Come on.
Certificate of Appreciation for David Valencia.
Ah.
Thank you. Sir, ma'am, this is just all too formal, guys, all too formal. David Valencia, in recognition and grateful appreciation for serving in the United States Air Force in the name of freedom and democracy, and for allegiance to God and country in courageously protecting our liberty and independence, with all our gratitude. Thank you, Mr. Valencia, for everything.
Thank you for your service, David.
I just want to give a little history while everybody goes back to the seats. These four gentlemen that have just received your appreciation have a combined nearly 30 years of service in the military. Pete Delgado, initially 3 years of active, and now since 2010 in Army as a Criminal Investigations Division agent, and he's presently remains in that position. Sergeant Valencia enlisted in the Navy in 2005. That wasn't enough. He switched over to the Air Force in 2015, and that's why he is now in the Air Force. Again, 11 years. Captain Carlos Avila was in the Army from 1980 to 1986, where he served honorably for 6 years, and Sergeant George Diaz in the U.S. Air Force from 1985 to 89 for 4 years. So that's 29 years and plus. And again, as Commissioner Rodriguez said, continue to serve this community with great honor and respect.
Thank you. The man of the hour tonight.
Certificate of recognition presented to Detective Alexander Rosario. In recognition for being selected as Miami-Dade County Association of Chiefs of Police Officer of the Month for September 2015, and that is countywide. And in appreciation for your dedicated service to the city of West Miami and its citizenry. With our gratitude, 4th day of November 2015, the Mayor, Vice Mayor, and City Commission. I'm going to read, and when we're done with the pictures, the recommendation that I sent to the association to nominate Detective Rosario.
Carlos, please.
Captain, go. Then they take a picture on the press. Okay, now the police department, take a picture.
No, we haven't finished.
Chief,
Wait,
Then you have to give a speech.
Yeah, can you? Share, yeah.
Gabby has to stay. That's her department.
Ella está en su Cuba.
Como tú te lo vas a
Oye, men in uniform.
Yeah, he does. He's a great detective, but he doesn't like to talk. This is
Congratulations.
a letter dated September 22nd that I wrote to Chief Charles Press, the chairman of the committee that selects the officers. Dear Chief Press, I would like to bring to the association's attention the recent activities of our newly appointed Criminal Investigation CID detective. Historically, Officer Alexander Rosario joined our department in 2008, first as a dispatcher, then as a uniformed patrol officer. This past June, Officer Rosario applied for an opening as a CID investigator. The commonly accepted administrative mindset of always selecting the most senior and experienced officer for specialized and/or investigative position has repeatedly shown me to not always be the best route. There were several much more seasoned officers who applied for the open CID position, yet the decision was made to select Officer Rosario for this most coveted position. Shortly after he was selected, our city was besieged by a rash of residential and vehicle burglaries. Based on the sudden and unexpected rise in crime, I questioned myself, had I made the right choice? It did not take long for that question to be answered. Instead of cowering and becoming overwhelmed by these crimes, Detective Rosario jumped in with both feet, incessantly asking questions and seeking assistance from Miami-Dade, Coral Gables, and Miami Police Department detectives. Knowing that criminals do not distinguish jurisdictional boundaries, Detective Rosario quickly determined the sudden increase in property crimes was not unique to West Miami, but was instead a regional problem which the other departments were similarly experiencing. Working exhaustively for countless hours, he was quickly able to identify suspects in several of the cases, which of course were also suspect in some of the crimes in our bordering jurisdictions. Holding meetings with a detective from the aforementioned agencies, he amassed a comprehensive list of potential suspects and went to work eliminating some and contracting the list. Within the first 3 months, June, July, and August of 2015, that Detective Rosario was assigned to CID, he was able to make arrests on 4 separate cases, 3 residential burglaries, as well as recovering much of the stolen property, and 1 vehicle burglary, which involved the theft of an officer's cell phone from his marked police vehicle. While these arrest stats would be impressive for even the most seasoned CID investigator, the fact that Detective Rosario accomplished it during the first 90 days of his assignment to CID is nothing short of spectacular. I must also add that he has not rested on his laurels following these arrests. He continues to meet with the detectives from other agencies and painstakingly works each lead thoroughly. Additionally, he participated in the closing down of a cafeteria in our city that was suspected of selling liquor without a license as well as cocaine. Participating as West Miami Police Department's lead investigator, Detective Rosario coordinated with the Florida Division of Alcoholic Beverage and Tobacco, the DEA, Miami Police Department, and after making controlled buys through a confidential source, raided the business, confiscating 22 grams of cocaine and dozens of bottles of alcoholic beverages which they were not licensed to sell. This West Miami eyesore has finally been permanently shuttered, thanks in part to the dedication, tenacity, and dogged determination of Detective Rosario. I hear only accolades from our officers, citizens, and elected officials on the work that Detective Rosario has and continues doing. Thanks to his work ethic, professionalism, and never-stop attitude, Detective Rosario has made West Miami a safer community. One of his most recent arrestees chastised his co-defendant by telling him, quote, "I told you to stay out of West Miami." Therefore, it is with great honor and pleasure that I submit Detective Rosario's name for the Miami-Dade County Chief Associations as our nominee for the Officer of the Month Award.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to take a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back.
Testing. We are now, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. At this point, I would like to go back to the order of the agenda, so that will be item 5.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Item 5, report of the city manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't have a written report this evening. We've been kind of busy downstairs with other matters that will eventually come to you. Most of the projects that the city is involved with is actually contemplated in your engineer's report, and we've asked them to be here this evening to go over those in a minute. I would like the record to reflect that as of this afternoon, we have received $4,200 in contributions from our corporate sponsors for the lighting of the tree ceremony. So we're going to start working on the program very shortly here. And we have actually already have commitments from our schools. And I want to thank Commissioner Rhonda Rodriguez for her effort in trying to get the schools to participate. We have Somerset Academy. We also have our home school, Sylvania Heights Elementary, and Our Lady of Lourdes Academy. The Jazz Cats will be performing at the lighting of the tree ceremony. It should be nice. Again, we'll put out calendars to the community, and as soon as the calendars are ready, we'll send them to you to approve or suggest some changes, and then we'll continue working on the program. So we're going to follow what we've done in previous years and only try to perfect things that have not gone 100% in previous years. So we're really looking at a nice program on December 9th. That concludes my report, and I will bring other matters to you at the next commission meeting. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 6, report of the city attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to report that the PMG Associates, Inc. has just completed on October 27, 2015, the study of the incorporation annexation report. And there's all the 200 and some odd pages here, which is going to take me quite a while to digest. It's quite complicated. I share that with the manager. And there are so many recommendations that it's mind-boggling. Prior to this, a couple of years ago, there were some 23 separate different resolutions and ordinances that were presented by various Miami-Dade County Commissioners in reference to incorporation annexation areas, which culminated in the Miami-Dade County Commission issuing an RFP for companies, independent companies, to make a report and recommendation, which was just completed. So there's a whole bunch of issues that I will bring out to the table at the appropriate time after I discuss it with manager.
Thank you.
On another matter, on issues that I was instructed to commence on the foreclosure of certain property at 1500 Southwest
62nd Avenue.
Second Avenue. We have been diligent in investigating all of the areas, all of the legal separate issues. We have met with the owner, the new owner of the property. I have had discussion with the Vice Mayor regarding this issue, and I will report back to the Commission at the appropriate time, and again after I discuss that with the manager. But there's a lot of progress that have been accomplished, and I'm sure that and the owner, the new owner, also met with Mr. Pena, and we had a very interesting discussion.
Yes,
So I think that it will work out well.
Thank you.
I hope so.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. Next item, please.
Item 7, report of the city engineers.
Also, if at this time, you can read the items that are related to the engineer, so we can take it under item 7.
Okay, that'll be-
Can you read the first item, please? Or unless you want to give a report first? And
Let's go to the report first,
Yes.
because those items will, kind of
Okay,
supplement the
all right.
report, so I think that's fine.
we just need to read them into the record, that's all.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commission. So it's been a little while since I've given a report of where we are with the projects. I think we've come a long way over the past year, so thought it was appropriate to come in today and just kind of give you guys an overview of the projects going on throughout the city and where we are, where we've come from the last update, which was, I think in January is when I gave a full comprehensive update on all the projects. So we got a lot done in the last 10 months or so. So just wanted to start off here to kind of give you an update and a standing of where we are with the building department. As you know, we started the building department January 2014 in-house, and we've been operating now. It'll be 2 years at the end of this year. So it's been definitely a big learning process and a learning curve. But I think we're at a point now where, it's running very, very smoothly. We have a very good front desk operation there that tends to the public. Mercy's doing an excellent job, and Juan as well, dealing with the public every day. We've had some new additions this year in terms of structural inspectors, plan reviewers, people of that nature that have really made us more stable over the last year. In the beginning, we were kind of shuffling folks around, trying to find the right people to handle this task. But really, we haven't had any changes over the last year or so. So we have a real stable department in terms of staffing. It's been the same faces going out there to see the public. They see the same people coming time and time again. So it's a definitely, I would say we're at a very stable position now, and things are operating fairly smoothly. Juan provided a little handout with some stats of where we're at, so you guys can see how we have kind of shifted over the last 2 years and how the department has actually grown a bit. First year, we issued about 245 permits, about 155 of those being building permits, and the remainder of the trade permits. And in 2015, just this is through the current date. This is through today, 190 building permits and 310 permits in total. So the department as a whole has grown a good size over the last year. Most of those permits being building permits. So you can see actually in the handout is a neat little graphic in the back where you can see all the properties that have actually pulled permits, and you can see it's fairly diverse and scattered throughout the city. It's not really concentrated in any one area, so that's a good sign. I think that pretty much indicates that folks are pulling permits for the things they need to pull, and it's happening across the board. So that's a good thing to see. In terms of the major projects that we've permitted, currently Gables, what's called Celeste now, Celeste 2, is currently in final permitting. We should have those permits completed soon here, so they can begin construction on that project. As you all have seen, Celeste opened a few months ago. I think the groundbreaking was this past couple weeks ago. And then the Gables Prado project over on 57th, as well as the Publix on 16th. Those are obviously under construction, as you can see, and those are slated to be completed sometime early mid 2016. So really, a lot of progress in the city is evident now, and the perimeter of the city, the mixed use is really growing. So it's fantastic to see. So moving on, if anyone have any questions related to the building department, I could address that now. All right, moving on. The other major project going on in the city is the traffic calming improvements, citywide traffic calming improvements. As I'm sure you've all seen those construction sites throughout the city. We're currently about 75% complete total with the project. All the traffic calmers themselves have been installed. And really the only remaining major infrastructure to be built as part of this project is the opening promenade here in 62nd Avenue, which actually we're happy to say that this week we should have approval to our final designs that we've been going back and forth with on the county. So that should be approved this week, if not next. And we should begin construction on that last portion of this project this month. We also made mention there in terms of reimbursements. This project is a LAP project, which means that the city effectively has to put up the money to build the job and then gets reimbursed from DOT. And that reimbursement process sometimes can be a bit lengthy and complicated, but we've been able to navigate that. And today we were actually approved on our second reimbursement for $248,000. And I believe in the emails I saw back and forth, that should be into the city in the next 2 weeks. The project completion date for this we have slated for the end of the year. It might slide a little bit depending on how soon we start 62nd Avenue, but definitely within the next month and a half, construction should be complete. Moving on, the other big project, of course, our Public Works building and building department facility. The current status of that project, there was a correction here. I had project budget 600,000, it's actually 700,000. But the status of the project is the project was awarded this summer to state contracting for Phase 1. We actually, if you all remember, we negotiated the project down to the first phase. The design has been completed. It's a design-build project, so the contractor that was awarded the job is actually finishing the design and then building it. So final design has been completed and has been submitted for permitting. So we should have all the permitting completed and the project ready to break ground in January 2016, I'm happy to say. So in a couple months, we should break ground back here and start construction of the first phase of the Public Works building. Completion date on that is projected to be June of 2016. We anticipate about a 6-month construction schedule for that phase. The next item on the memo here, the citywide potable water master plan. As some of you know, T.Y. Lin took charge of this grant that the city was awarded from FDEP to prepare a citywide, kind of a comprehensive water main master plan that would really be the springboard for grants and future projects to address the city's water issues. We're about 75% complete with the model. It's a hydraulic model of the entire system, and we anticipate completion of that in December. Next project here, Garden Club Park. This was the expansion of the park originally built on 12th Street and 66th Avenue. The city purchased the property next door, and we were able to expand the park with impact fees, and we've also added to the CDBG funds to do this project, and I think we have some forestry grants as well to do the landscaping. So it's kind of a mix of funding. A real nice project for the area. Really expands the park and adds some amenities that the park didn't have before, to really make it a good size and usable park. Yes. At no cost to the taxpayer. Thank you, Juan. So the project status, design is complete and the RFP documents are ready. I believe we're just waiting for the CDBG approval of our schedule, which we recently submitted, and then we can start the bid and award date. So we anticipate early 2016 to get that off the ground, and project completion in the third quarter of 2016. Then the last few projects here, the citywide miscellaneous drainage improvements, a couple areas in the city that were targeted for drainage improvements. The bid was put out. The current status of the project is it was bid and awarded to D Corp. Project budget about $85,000, and the construction start date we anticipate to be next month, with a quick turnaround completion date in January. Again, that one might slide depending on when they start. If it gets into the holidays, we might have them begin in January and not in the holidays. So that's the anticipated dates now, but it might slide a month if we get into the holidays. 10th Street parking lot. We've brought today a rendering of the new parking lot that we're looking to add right back here behind City Hall. Purpose of the lot, of course, is to serve City Hall. What's interesting, if you can see on the rendering, you see the most current aerial that we have from Google, and you can see that parking lot is completely used. So, well, it's used, so that's good. So, you know, obviously there's a need for more parking here in City Hall, and really this project is also to fill the need for voting days where we have large amounts of people coming in, and specifically during early voting.
Early voting,
Yeah.
which starts, Aneri, the end of February or beginning of March?
Beginning of March.
2016. So
Yes.
that parking lot is a must, and it has to be completed by then based on the approval by the election department to use this venue.
I think we should be by the February 15 or so.
That's what we're shooting for. We have a very aggressive schedule on this. Obviously, we want to have that built by March, by February, before early voting starts. So there's some items in the agenda that are addressing this particular project. To finalize design, go out to bid, and get a contractor on board as soon as possible to expedite this construction and get it done before early voting. It's a must. The final item on the memo, just a mention here about some recreational center and park improvements that we have put some grant applications in for Cooper Park as well as for the rec center. The status on that is we submitted the grant applications in August, and we're waiting to hear award. We haven't heard yet. Have you heard?
Tallahassee will probably be evaluating the applications and be rendering some recommendations to our lawmakers. And I'm sure the mayor, the vice mayor, the commissioners are going to be actively pursuing those dollars from the committee and obviously through our lawmakers in Tallahassee. So we will keep you up to speed with those recommendations on those projects by the Department of Environmental Parks and Recreation, FERDAP. They changed their names and their offices so much, we can't keep up with them.
So, yeah, so that's an overall status of all the capital projects going on right now in the city. As I said, some of these are being addressed in the agenda today, so if we have any questions in general. Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Yolanda, the garden club, the park that we are making the ampliation is going to be indirectly impacting with the comp plan. These have to be done before May, before April.
No, this park, there's a portion of the work that has to be accomplished by March 30th, and that is the forestry grant money has to be spent and inspected by March 30th. It is our goal to go ahead and plant those trees on March 1st because it's the right time of year. Obviously, we'll get some rain after that and whatnot. The CDBG grant cycle will start, it's basically predicated on our start date that is awarded or noticed by the county. We already know that we've been awarded the money. Today, the city hand-delivered the entire contract packet back to CDBG. It's up to the mayor's office now and CDBG to put their final seal of approval on it. And as soon as they do, we're going to go by the milestones and the target dates for the different disciplines that come with the construction of that park. We trust, and I'm saying the worst-case scenario, it'll be complete by September 30th, 2016. The best-case scenario, July 1st, 2016, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, we have to be aware of that. It's very important for us to comply with this.
And what I would actually, would like to work with the mayor is, on these projects to have like groundbreaking ceremonies, because these are projects that for a long time, our city has not had a 2 or 3 page memo on capital improvement projects, and now things are looking up for the city. And so it's important that these groundbreaking ceremonies take place so that community knows that you all have actually engaged in these projects for the greater good of the community. So we'll be working with the mayor and the commissioners, and Juan and with the engineers to set some ceremonies for the commencement of these projects, which are long overdue, and the city really hasn't seen anything like this in many years. So I think congratulations are in order for everybody from the top down, to be honest with
Well,
you.
Mayor, this looks nice. This looks in order, on a schedule, and very well planned. So, Mr. Alonso,
Juan, see if you
you're
could
growing.
find some money for termites.
You're
They're
growing
falling on my hair.
intellectual and doing good things here.
Thank you,
Tell
sir.
Commissioner, you're not saying that because Mariano is here today.
No.
Welcome back, Carter.
No. Mariano already is graduated from the, now Alonso, Mr.
Raises are
Alonso
coming
is-
up at the end of the year,
Mr.
so,
Alonso
yeah,
is
thank you.
following
Thank you,
his
that helps, yeah.
steps. He's following Mariano's step. I remember we watched that you have to follow the Mariano steps to doing the things right, like he did.
Trying.
Because Mr. Nessie, I know Mr. Nessie is in pre-retirement positions.
Mr. Mayor.
No, congratulations, really, congratulations.
Good job,
Go
Fred.
ahead, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. I just want to thank T.Y. Lin International, H.J. Ross. I would like to thank the engineers. As a small city, we are very lucky to have such a large and complex engineering company working for us. They are an international company, and being a small city, a small municipality here in Dade County, we are blessed to have them working for us. And I would like to recognize Mariano Valle, Mr. Nessi, and Frank, and their CEO, Alvaro Piedrahita. Again, we were very blessed and lucky to have you guys working for us. So I personally thank you, as I'm sure the whole commission does. So thank you very much. And glad to have you here, Mariano. I forgot what you looked like.
My wife told me that.
You got some making up to do. So thank you so much for your services.
Well,
Thank
thank you.
you.
And I mean, speaking for the company, this city is part of our roots, and you don't forget that. So, we're here for the long haul.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you very
for a
much.
special visit that you have been done to us, the three of you, all the VIPs there.
Thank you. I would like to add something. I'm sure everybody has this piece of paper right here, which was prepared for this meeting. And well, really, I know what called Ms. Aguilar's attention is this bar over here, and especially this pie,
Exactly.
diagram. But really, what really, I'm a graphic type of person, and what really caught my attention, if you go to the very, very last page, this shows the number of permit in the city of West Miami, and as you can see, it's the entire city. And what this means to me is very simple. Before, we would go to Miami-Dade County to pull a permit, and sometimes they didn't. So it was a nightmare for code enforcement. So those actually dots were code enforcement issues before, where now our permit and the money comes to the city, and we should be grateful for that. That's what I see here. So, and something that we started some years ago, and I'm glad we have some people in the audience that were part of, bringing West Miami to the future, and finally with the building department and so on. So, thank you. With that, can you read the items that we have under the engineer's report? So we can move forward.
Yes, our items G, H, I, J, I believe. So let me
Okay,
read
let's do one at a time.
Yes, item G, request for resolution for engineering and construction management services by TY Lin International for the Public Works / Building Department Construction Project. This is by Director of Public Works and TY Lin International.
Okay, Mr. Pena?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. The proposal that they have submitted is for the management of the construction of the building, and that is in dealing with all the execution of all the parts of the contract with the company SCEC, which is the builder that will be designing and building the project. These are their fees. It's based on amount of hours that their engineers will spend on site and in reviewing the work as it's being done.
Okay. Any questions? We need to read the actual resolution, which is item H.
Yes, item H, resolution of the mayor and city commission of the city of West Miami authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with TY Lin J. Ross for construction management and inspection services in connection with the Public Works / Building Department project for a sum in the amount of $33,120.00 to be paid from reserve designated funds, providing for effective date by mayor and city commission.
Thank you. Any questions? Madam Manager?
Just a clarification, this coincides or follows the resolution that you adopted at the last commission meeting where the city earmarked a total of $175,000 in soft costs and engineering fees for the construction of the new building. The credit line has been presented to the bank's loan committee, and we anticipate that a closing will occur sometime the second week of December. We are working with Total Bank on that. So this has been considered, and we have been reserving those dollars for the project.
Okay, thank you.
Motion?
We need a motion.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Can you call the vote, please?
Yes, Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Mujina?
Yes,
4-0, item passes.
thank you. Next item, can you read I?
Item J, yes,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor. Item I, request for resolution for professional design and construction engineering inspection services by T.Y. Lin International for the Southwest 10th Street Parking Improvements Project, Director of Public Works and T.Y. Lin International. Item J, resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami authorizing the city manager to expend a total of $34,000 for services in connection with professional design and engineering services for the Southwest 10th Street Parking Improvement Project to be funded from General Fund Account 529-04, non-department, providing for effective date, Mayor and City Commission.
Again, Mr. Mayor, this is for the construction of the additional parking lot that we're going to do behind the Public Works building. This is for the actual design and the inspection services once it gets under construction.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, can you call the vote, please?
Yes, Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Mujina?
Yes,
4-0, item passes.
thank you. Shall we go on to item K, I guess?
I would, Mr. Mayor.
Oh,
Okay, item K, request for resolution for landscaping installation at all of the new traffic circles under the LAP agreement and the existing traffic circles. This is by Director of Public Works. And item L, this is a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami authorizing the city manager the expenditure of a total of $31,641.50 in connection with the landscaping installation at all of the new traffic circles under the LAP agreement and the existing traffic circles payable to Ridgewood Landscaping, providing for funding from PTP funds and providing for effective date by Mayor and City Commission.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, as part of the work that was done on the traffic circles, landscape is not one thing that was under the FDOT agreement. So the landscape of the circles, as you have seen, there hasn't gone in yet. It has to be in a separate
Funded separately.
funded source, which we're taking from our surtax funds. And in order to make them all look alike, we are going to, the shrubbery around the existing circles will be removed to match that of the new circles. And the new circles also get additional palms and stuff that they don't have right now. So that's why you see the difference in the breakdown on the different circles. They're different in size, they're different in diameter, so some are a little bit more expensive, some are cheaper. They're more or less in the area of $2,000 per circle. And we do have 20 circles now.
This is for the half cent, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Moving.
Mr., I got a question. Is the plan to make them look all uniform?
Identical. As far as landscaping is concerned, obviously, they're all different shape and sizes, so, but as far as what's on the vegetation will be similar to all.
Are we going to use that same shrubbery that we have at the circle?
No, we're removing that, and we're going to a different type of shrubbery.
Boy, I hope we've done some good research, because that shrubbery is pretty hardy.
No, well, you're talking about the one at
At the circle.
at the fountain. No, the fountain stays.
I'm sorry, at the fountain.
Yeah, the fountain stays with that because that's the best thing that's lasted
Okay,
around the fountain.
all right.
No, we're talking about the additional traffic circles, the other type of foliage that it has.
Okay, what type of shrubbery, do you know?
Yeah, it's in the estimate.
There are two proposals in your packet. Obviously, the recommendation that we have for you this evening is the one from Birchwood. That vendor came in with a lower price, and he has detailed the type of shrubberies that are going to go in there, and I think identified them by quantities based on the size of the diameter of the traffic circle. Am I correct, Mr. Penna?
Yes, also, he's worked with us in the past. He knows, he's an arborist, he knows what's going to
Hold up.
do well in our circles and whatnot, so that's why
Okay.
he's gone with the Queen Emma, the Crown of Thorns, and the Green Island Ficus
Okay.
around the shrubbery part. As far as the palms, we're sticking with the Christmas palms, as they're referred to, which the ones that are in the circle are doing well. Those that aren't will be replaced, but for the most part, they hold up pretty well.
Motion?
Any further questions? I have a motion by Commissioner Suarez.
Second.
Okay. Can you call the vote, please?
Yes, Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes,
Yes.
Mayor Mujina,
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Mr. Mayor, may I ask a question, please?
Yes, go ahead.
Now that we have an approval, how soon is the target date? I'm concerned about the upcoming change of weather, not that we have much of a winter down here, but obviously the trees, can you speak to the issue of the trees being planted if they die with cold weather, whether they're under warranty
All work that he does is guaranteed for a year.
for a year? Okay.
So any plants that die, he will replace.
And the circles have an irrigation system?
No, circles are not irrigated. We will, between us and first the company irrigates it for the first 6 months. After that, we irrigate it with our Vector truck for the
And
following.
that irrigation is inclusive of the price that has been approved by the commission?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Can we go on to item M and N?
Okay, Mr. Mayor. Item M, request for resolution for installation of underground water pipes for the Public Works Building Department project, Director of Public Works. Would you like me to read item N, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, please.
Item N, resolution of the mayor and city commission of the city of West Miami authorizing the city manager an expenditure of $4,000.00 in connection with the installation of a new underground water and electrical lines for the Public Works Building Department project payable to R&Y Underground, Inc., providing for effective date by mayor and city commission.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, the work that's going to be done prior to the Public Works building being erected consists of bringing electrical power to the building off of our main distribution panel, which is, works with the backup generator. So in order to accomplish that, we are installing 3 separate conduits that will go from the existing far end of the corner here of the storage building all the way around the front of our parking lot and then turn sideways to the east where the hookup points will be for the new building. One of the lines is for high-speed internet, the other one is for the electrical, and the other one is for water. And these will all be direct bore, so it'll limit the disruption in our parking lot.
Okay. Any further question? No?
I think, I make a comment, this is the most practical thing to do, put on the ground,
Correct.
now that we are going to make the construction. That's a motion.
Okay. Need a second?
Second.
Call the vote?
Yes, Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes.
Yes.
Mayor
Yes.
Mujina,
Yes.
4-0, item passes.
Thank you. Can we go back to the items? I think we need to go back to item 8.
Item 8, yes. Item 8, committee reports, report of the mayor.
No report tonight.
Any
Anybody
other
else?
committee?
Okay. Next item?
Item 9, citizen presentations. No presentations, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, next item?
Item 10, unfinished business, none this evening. Item 11,
F. No, I'm sorry.
D.
I'm sorry, D.
D. At item 11D, report by the Office of the City Manager in reference to timelines for completion and submittal of comprehensive plan updates and selection of date for public work hearings before local planning agency by City Manager.
Mr. Mayor, as you know that the commission extended the contract between the city and FIU at a no-cost contract extension through the end of December. Our recommendations, because of the upcoming holidays, is that you set aside perhaps a couple of hours before your next city commission meeting to go through the items contemplated in the report by FIU, so that you could understand those areas that we have visited, the issues that deal with special use permits for planned development, density, land use, future park areas, and some of the items that have gone back and forth that have been reviewed, and there are going to be some recommendations. So sort of like a workshop prior to your next commission meeting, I think would be in order, and then at that date, if it's feasible, we will set the first public hearing before the LPA, which would be the local planning agency, and you are the ultimate planning authority for the city of West Miami. But because now we are really getting close to the holidays, we need to move forward. There needs to be 2 public hearings. So we are proposing to bring FIU and obviously have like a roundtable discussion where everybody can receive information and provide input to the suggested changes to the comp plan, and then proceed to set your first public hearing on that.
The commission will sit at the local planning agency. In other words, you assume the responsibility of local planning agency.
Okay, so the first meeting will be, or actually the meeting, that will be November 18th?
Our next meeting is on the 18th, November 18th.
Okay, and you're suggesting to start a couple hours earlier?
I would recommend that we start at 6 o'clock, or even 5:30 would be good for a workshop prior to your regular city commission meeting, which starts at 7:30. And I would say 5:30 is probably a good time. That allows a 2-hour window of time for us to go through the comp plan amendments.
Okay,
Madam Manager, will you send a calendar?
Absolutely.
Please, thank you.
Yeah, 18, no?
The 18th.
18th.
What do you propose, 5:30?
5:30 meeting,
LPA, right?
that is correct.
Okay. Sounds good?
You will receive a calendar from our office tomorrow on this, and if at all possible, then we could set our first public hearing, probably the date of the first commission meeting in December, Mr. Penna? Again, it could be at 5:30 in the evening prior to your regular city commission meeting.
So that will be December 2nd.
That is correct. There needs to be a second meeting after that, prior to the end of the month. So what I am not certain of, and I would have to find out, is if we could advertise for the 2 meetings in one ad, and I believe the answer is no.
And what's the time frame between one and the other? for advertising?
I want to say, Mr. Mayor, to be cautious, about 3 weeks between one and the other.
Well, the third week, then that will be that, or that will be the 23rd of December.
That week.
Mhm.
So that we are not so close to the holidays, we could look at possibly the Monday, the 21st of December. That second public hearing.
Okay.
December what?
December 21st.
21st Monday.
Yes.
Everybody agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Have fun, fine.
All right, I have no problem.
Are you, do you agree to a 5:30 public hearing, or would you agree to a 7:30 public hearing on the 21st?
Either one works for me,
Yeah, that's
whatever the
fine.
rest agree on. You want 5:30 or 7:30?
I mean, it is the week of the holidays,
We have to do this as soon as it's better, so it's
5:30?
okay.
5:30 PM?
5:30
Mayor?
is Monday,
Yes.
yeah. Monday, 21st, Friday.
21st.
We will convey this information to Florida International University and supply you with a report a couple of days before the meeting so that you can read it, acquaint yourself with it, make some notes, and that way you're all prepared for your first workshop.
Okay. So we're done with that item?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's
Thank
move on
you.
to the next item. Thank you. Let's move on to the next item, which is item E.
Yes, item E, request for resolution authorizing the purchase of vehicle for the CID, Criminal Investigations Department or Division of the West Miami Police Department. This is by Chief of Police, and if you allowed me, can I read item F too, Mr. Mayor?
Please.
Item F, resolution of the mayor and city commission of the city of West Miami authorizing the city manager the purchase from Allstate Insurance of a Nissan Altima 2009 four-door vehicle for the CID department at the West Miami Police Department, providing for funding from LETF, Law Enforcement Trust Fund, at no cost to the taxpayer, providing for effective date, mayor and city commission.
Okay. Chief?
Busy day for me today.
Yes.
This is,
I just realized that we should take you out of order right after the
that's-
presentation, so
Not a
you can go earlier, but
not a problem,
ma-
not a problem.
next time, next time.
This is a vehicle that we have been using for about 2 or 3 years. It was part of a program that we had with NICB and some of the insurance companies when we were working staged accidents and fake insurance claims and so forth. We've received an ultimatum from Allstate saying either give us the car back or we'll sell it to you. And the car is in very good shape, and the price they offered us, we cannot refuse. We cannot buy a similar vehicle for twice that much. So they're willing to sell us that car for $4,500. I have been in communications with the manager, and it's just a win-win for the city, and it comes out of LETF, so it does not expend any city funds.
Excellent. Any question for the chief? Okay, I guess we got a motion. I need a second.
Motion.
Okay. Call the vote, please.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Suarez,
No, motion by Vice
Vice Mayor
Mayor.
Blanes,
Blanes.
and second by Commissioner Suarez.
Second by Commissioner Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, I
Either one,
apologize.
take your pick.
It's okay.
Either one,
What's the
we're a
sense?
team, we work together.
I was actually trying to amend the resolution, the heading of the resolution to reflect the price, the $4,500 that is not reflected here. So I was gonna request an amendment to reflect the
Sorry.
price.
Missed.
That's what I was working on. So, motion by Vice Mayor Blanes, second by Commissioner Rodriguez, and on the vote, Commissioner Rodriguez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Mujina?
Yes,
4-0, item passes with amendment.
thank you. Go to the order.
I
Anybody
have, yes, I do,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, for the good of the order. Halloween, our pumpkin patrol. I would like to thank our police department for a job well done. I was out there walking the streets, and the children had a wonderful time, and the police presence was unbelievable, handing out candy, and the parents just felt very safe and secure with all of the police presence out there, so thank you. And I also want to thank Mr. Blanes. I had the pleasure of being at the Recreation Center for a Halloween costume contest. And Lieutenant Delgado and Sergeant Delos did again, an outstanding job in their safety presentation to the campers or the kids at the rec. So much so that my grandson was there with me, and on Halloween night, he told me what I should be doing, because he listened and they talked to the children at their level. So the children completely understood everything they told them about safety. And I was reminded that night of some things I wasn't doing, like where was our flashlight and everything. So thank you. Thank everyone for a job well done. Our pumpkin patrol was outstanding.
Great.
Very good.
All right. Okay, anything else for the good of the order? Okay. Madam Manager.
Mr. Mayor, as customary, we will be working with the police department in the coming days to go ahead and implement also some Grinch patrols during the peak shopping seasons in the residential area. During peak hours, there will be additional patrols. We're going to authorize a little bit of overtime and maybe fill in a couple of the gaps with reserve officers so that we can augment police presence in the city.
Thank you.
That's great. Thank you.
All right. Well, yes, one more?
One more item, Mr. Mayor, the City Hall will be closed in observance of Veterans Day. Thank you, Aneri. Wednesday of next week, the police department will be out there, obviously patrolling. There will be garbage collection on Wednesday, there is no garbage collection. So City Hall will close, and obviously, my deepest respect for all the veterans who reside in the city of West Miami and those who have served. And you have started something, Mr. Mayor, with recognizing our very own. So
Okay.
that concludes the good of the order from my office.
Okay, well, let's adjourn. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.